Markey, the jury has just a couple of hours before they are back in the court to consider a different charge. Daniel Penny faced two charges originally, one of second-degree manslaughter and one of criminally negligent homicide. After days of trying to come to an agreement about whether Penny was guilty of second-degree manslaughter, Judge Maxwell Wiley took the unusual move of dropping that charge and telling the jury to move on to the second charge. Now the jury needs to decide if Penny is guilty of criminally negligent homicide in the death of Jordan Neely. Some legal experts tell us that if Penny is found guilty, his defense team will have a strong basis for an appeal, which they have already said they will do.
Judge dismissing this count on the motion of the prosecutor, it can have a very prejudicial effect. It can make jurors feel that the judge is almost giving them the go-ahead to say that count one was hard for you, but go to count two. Now, hint, wink, wink, it should be easier for you, because the jurors don't know why this is happening. It is a very unusual move.
And court is due back in session at 9:45 Eastern this morning. The maximum sentence for criminally negligent homicide is 4 years, which is much less than the 15 years that was tied to the dismissed manslaughter charges. Markey.
And Mills, what more are we expecting from today? Or is it more of just let's wait and see?
Well, a big part of this case has revolved around whether or not Penny's actions were justified. Neely's death happened at a time when people who lived in New York City were already on high alert for crime on the subways. Dozens had been pushed off subway platforms, and at least one person had been killed at that point. And yes, people have testified that they were extremely frightened on the subway that day. But where do we draw the line? This is a question with no easy answer. The jury has asked the judge to have the definition of recklessness and negligence repeated. Jordan Neely's father, Andre Zachary, even sued Daniel Penny this past week. He accuses the former Marine of negligence, assault, and battery. This case has sparked debate across the country in real life and online, with some casting Penny as a hero and a protector, while others see him as a white vigilante who killed a black man that was in need of help.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to...
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with O Live, and this is the Morning Loop. Free Daniel Penny. This is wrong, what's going on right now. I mean, like, that doesn't happen where they go, oh, you guys can't figure out what you want to do on the first charge? Just, we'll get that one removed, and you can just move on to the second one. That doesn't happen. That does not happen in trials. This is unprecedented. It's crazy. I know lawyers all over YouTube that I follow are just flipping crap about this. They're like, this is nuts. This is nuts, man. I mean, imagine if they had dropped, it's like they'd be like, oh, we can't convict Kyle Rittenhouse on this first case. We'll just get rid of this one so you guys can more easily convict him on other counts, I mean, this is nuts. And again, it's like what we've been telling you the whole time. If Daniel Penny loses this case, it's open season in New York for crime. You can do whatever you want. Again, criminals already have more rights in New York than citizens do, than victims do. You have a duty to flee in New York. If somebody breaks into your house and you have a duty to flee your own home, you don't have a castle doctrine. It's like, this is your home. This is your fort. If somebody breaks in here, this is the last place you can retreat to. It's like, no, in New York, just get out, run. It's like, what if you live in a skyrise? It's like, jump out the window, even if you're on the 100th floor. So it's nuts. New York is a terrible place. And this is the whole trial thing. I mean, Jordan Neely wasn't even dead after the police arrested him. Like, I mean, he was alive post the chokehold.
Yep.
So that's why I don't understand. It's like on the medical lady that they interviewed was like, no, it's the chokehold that killed him. It's like, but he was alive and got out of the chokehold. Mm-hmm. And the police are the ones that were like, we don't want to render aid because he looks gross.
Yeah. Here's the trial testimony from that. This is from John Lefrey. I feel like not enough people know this about Daniel Penny trial testimony. Jordan Neely was alive when the cops showed up. They did not render aid because he was dirty and smelly, and they didn't want to risk getting HIV. I'll pull up the pictures real quick, but there's the chokehold. That he was very dirty. Cops in Daniel Penny's trial blame filth, fear of HIV for not performing mouth-to-mouth on mouth-to-mouth resuscitation on homeless victim. And it says here, says partially true. The new NYPD did perform CPR on Jordan Neely, but not mouth to mouth. NYPD Sergeant Carl Johnson testified Neely was an apparent drug user, and he was very dirty. I did not want my officers to put their lips on his mouth. They could get hepatitis or AIDS.
So there you go, folks. Again, your government officials, I don't blame them for that. It's like, I don't want to risk my life for this crazy person. I mean, this is the way it is. And, in New York, you see this kind of crap all the time. It's like, I don't want to touch this guy. I don't want to give him mouth to mouth and risk getting some type of infectious disease.
Yeah.
So I don't blame them. At the same time, it's like, blame your government officials, though. Don't blame Daniel Penny. Daniel Penny stepped up. Daniel Penny did the right thing. I mean, again, ladies, the future of the city of New York, Philadelphia, and all these, New Jersey, all these horrible places up in the north. I mean, is this how you want whenever something like this is happening on a train? Let's say, like in the Philadelphia case is the most eye-opening one, where the lady was literally getting R-worded, assaulted in a sexual variety on the subway, and nobody did anything. They just watched, and they pulled out their phones and filmed her getting R-worded. And it's like, again, don't worry, ma'am. This guy's going to jail. We got good angles on this.
Yep. So a society that would rather film than help is a piss poor society.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, look, I'm helping. Don't worry, ma'am. I'm going to be a hero in this situation. It's like, no. You want those dudes to get up and be like, get off of her right now, dude.
You are the equivalent of somebody yelling "World Star" during a fight.
Yeah.
If you're just going to grab your cell phone.
Yeah. It's pathetic, man. But I mean, this is the society that we are cultivating.
Yep.
Everybody's too afraid to be the next Daniel Penny, to be afraid to be the next Kyle Rittenhouse, too afraid to do the right thing because we're prosecuting people who do the right thing.
Yep. And then that brings me to this meme right here. So Daniel Penny isn't on trial for intervening. He's on trial for being white. And I actually have another meme up here that shows how true that this statement actually is right here. This is from End Wokeness. Daniel Penny, 24, put a homeless felon in a fatal chokehold to stop him from attacking people on a New York train. Bail, $200,000. Appeal rejected. Jordan Williams, 20, stabbed and killed a homeless man to stop him from attacking people on his New York train. Bail, $0. Charges dropped.
This is, again, what is it they say in the 1619 Project and Eben Rex Kennedy? It's the only way to justify past discrimination is by
future discrimination.
Current discrimination or future discrimination. You have to discriminate against the people you perceived wronged you in the past. So Daniel Penny is the avatar of whiteness right now. This is what DEI, this is what all these woke policies are instituting for. It is disgusting. That's a good one right there.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, that's the lawyer right there, or we call her Rocky Dennis. She's saying restorative justice wearing a BLM shirt, and then the crackhead pushes her under the subway.
Yeah, I mean, how many people have died on the subway trains this year? I mean, like, I think 20s, up in the 20s, people have been shoved in front of trains.
Yes.
By homeless people.
Yeah.
By diversity.
People. Yeah.
You know?
That's, which brings me to, like, this one right here is, I mean, this is completely relevant. NBC fact-checking Trump interview this morning. They are repeating the lies that crime is down. Trump is right. Crime is not down. Some major cities just stopped reporting it, and the FBI recently and quietly updated their crime statistics, which was missing thousands. Let me click on this. Excuse me. Which was missing thousands of crimes. Crime is up. And as you can see here, I'll pull up the pictures. Crime, border security, and family separation. Trump and crime is raising sharply in the United States and blamed on migrants. Look, our country is a mess, he said. We have the highest crime rate, he said. A lot, and lots of that is migrant crime. There is no evidence of migrant crime wave in the U.S., and crime broadly is down, according to the most recent data available. Violent crime is down by 3% from 2022 to 2023, and property crime took a similar drop of 2.4%, the FBI reported in September. The most serious crime is murder, negligent manslaughter, non-negligent manslaughter dropping an estimate of 11.6%, marking the largest single decline in 2 decades. Speaking about migrants and the coming countries, Trump also claimed that 13,000 murderers were released into our country over the last 3 years. So that's what they said in the interview, of course. And then here's what's actually going on. Violent crime is not down. Cities just stopped reporting crime data. Another Kamala lie. Violent crime is down according to murder rate is plunging in FBI statistics. Now, sites nationwide. Sorry, I cannot talk today. Nationwide, not reporting crime data to FBI.
There you go. It's because they were updating their systems. We talked about this before. There's an update to all the way that these systems are reported, and it took multiple precincts years to get it accomplished.
Yep. And then here's the new data right here. Breaking. The FBI just quietly updated their crime data for 2022. Turns out it was missing thousands of crimes. The updated data shows that there is 80,000 more violent crimes than in 2021. There were an additional 1,699 murders, 7,780 rapes, and 33,459 robberies, and 37,091 aggravated assaults.
Crime's up, baby. And again, all this stuff just goes to strengthen our point. But I mean, what the real purpose of this is, I mean, remember, Daniel Penny is on trial for being white, not for anything else. It's just like that guy. I mean, they have that other guy right there who did the same thing, except he stabbed a guy. He intentionally killed a dude on the train. Charges dropped. Before restorative justice. Daniel Penny is a white dude who didn't even kill the guy. The guy was alive after Daniel Penny was done.
Yeah. So this is, unfortunately, a racial issue that we're having to deal with today.
Again, people who are racializing this, like, you are the problem. Like, I mean, remember, Lady Justice is blind. Pull up that Twitter video I sent, that Kevin Sorbos.
Yep.
Yeah. So, right there right. Look at this. Like, read what Kevin Sorbos said there.
Kevin Sorbo, these are the same people that used to donate money to buy themselves houses, which is 100% true. None of the money that went to BLM went to any, like, causes. They didn't go to, like, community help centers.
They bought, like, 7 mansions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these people profited pretty much, like, 80% of the money, probably even more than that.
Mm-hmm.
And they are living rent-free off of ignorant people that donated to them.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember this. I remember, like, when one of the guys who was actually shot, like, wrongfully was killed. Like, they actually proved that there was a black man that was killed wrongfully because it was a rookie police officer. Like, it was just like his first or second day on the job. And the guy said, "Yeah, I've got my conceal and carry on me." And the kid immediately freaked out and pulled out his gun. That girlfriend in Black Lives Matter got more money than the family that was actually their son got for any of that.
Of course,
because
it's not about helping people. It's about making money off of so-called charity or, again, toxic empathy. They're saying, don't worry, like, black people, look, we're oppressed. Donate money to this group and we'll make sure that at least the people in this group aren't going to be oppressed. And that's not even true. It's just the people who are at the very top making all the money, stealing all your money, stealing all your donations. But again, it's the small donations that hurt you and people like you and me who would be dumb enough to donate to this. But then it's, major corporations donate to this. Nike's donated to BLM. Like, I mean, like, they just stuff that money right in their pockets, buy themselves millions of dollars home, and they're going to be bankrupt in a couple of years anyway because eventually this is going to stop. But again, they are racializing something that doesn't need to be racialized.
Yeah.
Like, this is just these people grifting. I mean, BLM got me called anything else but grifters at this point.
Yep. Want me to play this video?
Yeah, you can play this video. Like, just watch these crazy Marxist nut job race hustlers just come in here and make no sense. Like, it's disgusting.
All right, here we go.
Find a white man guilty and the co-founder of Black Lives Matter Greater New York. I stand here heartbroken because I have to hug a father who knows that the murderer of his son will most likely go free, who has to look in the face of a jury that no matter the facts, no matter the expert witnesses, no matter the people yelling on that train that day to let Jordan go, you will kill him.
What citation do you have for that?
They will not find a white man guilty of killing a black man in modern day America. This is no different than Jim Crow. This looks like a picture out of the picture book when you look at that anonymous jury. We have baby boomers who were there during Jim Crow on this jury. We have young people who are looking at Daniel Penny as a hero. And what America is a hero, a killer. He didn't give a crap about Jordan. The medical examiner said Jordan turned purple. Yes, black people can turn purple when they're denied oxygen. Every lab report showed he died of asphyxiation. And that doesn't matter because they want to spare
She didn't even do the lab
the
report.
penalty of his crimes. America has not changed, and I hate
Which just proves that these people don't even pay attention to
Yeah.
the court hearing because, as I said, the police didn't render full CPR to the guy.
And, and the thing is, too, the dad probably wouldn't even come out if these people hadn't gone and sought him out. They go, we can make money off of this, sir. And he's like, yes, I want to make sure that I get paid for my son's
This
death.
is the other question. If his son was having such issues, where was Dad?
Yeah.
Where was Dad this whole time?
Yeah, Dad, if you really cared about your son, you would have done something. You would have put him in a home. You would have got him some type of...
Institutionalized,
Yeah.
drug rehab, whatever.
The state pays for some of this stuff. So I don't know what he would have got 3 squares a day, and he would have been undergone therapy or some type of, what do you call it? Rehab.
Rehab, yeah, it's rehab.
But no, now Dad's out that there's money to be made off of this event. So it's just bad faith, man. It's just bad faith. These people are bad faith. They definitely went out and sought out this guy's dad. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about the truth at all. She's just making shit up. There's we have video footage of the chokehold. I don't hear anybody yelling, "Let him go, man! Let him go! He can't breathe." None of that happened. She's making that shit up.
Every single witness on the train pretty much testified that they felt safer when Daniel Penny put the guy and restrained him in the chokehold.
Yes, these people are charlatans. They are race hustlers. They are grifters. And
But we know this is what Black Lives Matter does. Like the whole hands up, don't shoot narrative was not true regarding what's his name, Michael Brown incident. It was not true. He grabbed the cop's gun. He was not putting his hands up to surrender.
yeah, I mean, they have the DNA evidence of how close his guy's hands were to his gun. His DNA is physically on the gun, and it's not because the DNA got blown backwards and it was blood on the gun. And no, it's like you could find his fingerprints on the gun. And there were people around. Like the police officer didn't just grab the dead kid's hand, rub him on the gun, and be like, "Got him." That's not what happened. Like they could see the struggle. People were testified to that struggle taking place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, he had his hands inside the window of that police car.
Yep. But we'll go ahead and finish this video real quick.
No,
But this is just-
there's
you
no
don't even-
point. There's no point.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
she's just grifting. She's lying. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And again, this right here, Stone Toss, he's a really great, political satire comic guy. And this is, just read it, Chad.
You got it. All right. From Stone Toss. It's a white guy holding an All Lives Matter sign, and then it's 2 black people holding a Black Lives Matter sign. He goes, but nobody disputes that all lives matter. And then he's just sitting there, and they all just staring at each other, and then all of a sudden he pulls a gun out and says, "You hear me?"
That's basically BLM in a nutshell, man. Like, I mean, they're holding you hostage. They're holding empathy hostage. They're like, if you don't agree with us, you're just a bad person.
Yeah. And with the prosecutor, which this is like, again, unheard of, the prosecution dropping the higher crime to get a
mid-trial.
Mid-trial to get
Mid-deliberation.
to get a lower charge is unheard of. That's not what prosecutors do. So basically, it's hilarious here. Babylon B crushing it as always. Daniel Penny's judge tells jury to go back and deliberate until they come back with the correct verdict, which is basically what's going on here.
Yeah.
I mean, you heard that. That is unheard of for the prosecution to drop a higher charge for a lower charge for the jury to deliberate on.
This is common practice. You charge people with the highest charge you can get, and you in hopes that you at least get something as the prosecutor. And again, if you're the prosecutor, you don't hope you get them at all. You don't care if you get them at all. You're just doing your job as the prosecutor. The fact that they're dropping charges in order to assist the jury in their deliberations is disgusting. I mean, this is evil. This is pure evil. That woman right there, the Rocky Dennis woman, she is evil.
Daphne Yoren.
Daphne
just
Yoren.
call her Rocky Dennis.
I mean, remember here, folks, she let go a guy that killed an 86-year-old Asian man in a subway phone booth.
No, in a ATM. It was
ATM. It was an ATM. He shoved him down for $300, killed him, and then they went to the family and said, let's pursue restorative justice for this man. He's going to get out. So here's what happened. So the family actually did agree to restorative justice.
Yeah,
he's
I
going to
saw
get out
that.
in less than 5 years, and he's going to do it again because the guy had a criminal rap sheet like 40 felonies long. That's what we're looking at here. People like this, toxic empathy, are allowing criminals to go for very short sentences or get off scot-free and then come back out on the streets and do it again.
Yep.
She doesn't care. She doesn't care about you. She doesn't live with you, the regular, normal people. She lives above you. Her empathy makes her better than you.
Yeah.
It's gross, man. It's evil. It is wrong. And again, Daniel Penny, a guy who served in the Marines, who did the right thing and protected people on a subway. And no, he is a evil white racism. He is the avatar for whiteness now. You are bad, and he's a bad guy because he stood up and did the right thing. Like, remember, right is wrong, wrong is right.
Yeah.
Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. That's what we're living in right now.
And then here's this, like, I mean, they're always trying against self-defense. You trying to protect yourself. I mean, look at this right here. Germany is holding an American hostage and threatening her with 10 years in prison after she stabbed a migrant who sexually assaulted her. U.S. woman, 20, accidentally stabs an, I don't know how to say this,
Eritrean.
Okay. Eritrean, 64, to death during a struggle after he groped her at a Germany train station. And now she faces 10 years in prison for defending herself against someone assaulting her. This is what we're talking about. They don't want you to be able to defend yourself. They want you to have, I mean, that's, what else could you argue at this point? It's like, they want you to be hurt, assaulted, robbed, mugged, whatever. Democrats are protecting the criminal over the victims.
Yes, they're creating a society in which each person has a job. You know, you can't be, it's not your job to defend yourself. That's the police job. It doesn't matter if the police aren't around. You just call them and you wait.
Yeah.
And let whatever crime happens to you happen because it's not your job to stop it. It's not your job to protect yourself. It's not your job to defend yourself.
Yeah. What's that saying that one sheriff always said? I forget his name, like Clark Duncan or something. Mm-hmm. He was like, police aren't there to help you. They're there to fill out the report afterwards.
Yes, police, like, rarely do police prevent crime. They just write the reports.
Do we like it when they do prevent the crimes? Yes.
Yeah.
But that is rare. That is very rare. Usually they're there after whatever has happened has already happened.
Yeah. Police don't prevent crime. They clean up the mess. Now, where police are there, if let's say you're in an area where there is a heavy police presence, yes, their presence can prevent crime. But if you're home at night and somebody kicks in the door, or you're on a train with no police officer in it, you're on your own until it comes. It's like those that Clint Eastwood movie where they made it about those guys that stopped the terrorist on the train.
Yes.
Something to Paris or something like that.
Yeah. Something to Paris. Yeah, about the Air Force kid. Yeah.
I mean, do you know how many people would have died on that train if they hadn't stepped up? This is the Daniel Penny situation. This is the Kyle Rittenhouse situation. This is not about just Daniel Penny. This is about your right to self-defense. This is about the right of men everywhere who step up. And like, again, if I'm in New York, instead of being like Daniel Penny, stepping up and being like, hey, I'm going to protect everyone on this train because I'm going to do what's right. Even though I'm putting my life on the line and I could get hurt by this guy. Now, every time I get on a train in New York, if I go to New York, I'm going to sit there and go, is this worth going to being locked up for jail for a year with no bail? $2,000 bail? $200,000 bail? Being locked up for a year? Being put on trial and then people race scripting and being like, you are the avatar of white supremacy. Is it worth it? I'm going to sit there and go, maybe I'm just going to be that guy that films with my phone. Don't worry, ma'am. We got good angles on this. And in fact, we could probably upload this to Pornhub or OnlyFans and you'll make a lot of money off of this. We can fundraise for your help her out fund, you know? I mean, that's where we're going as a society. That's where we're going. It's like, don't worry, man. We can profit off your trauma by uploading the video to a pornographic website. I mean, I don't know what we're doing in this society anymore. This is crazy. I mean, men everywhere should just get up and do what Daniel Penny did. People in Philadelphia should be ashamed of themselves. Like the fact that lady got R-worded on that train and nobody did a thing to assist her. I mean, everybody in Philly should be like, You know, like, I mean, it's a Philly thing, you know? Like, we're tough. We're a working class group over here in Philly. You know, it's like, I guess not. You guys are a bunch of wussies.
If you are married or dating a guy that wouldn't intervene in a situation like that, you're married to the wrong person, because he's not going to protect your family, your kids, you, when something like this happens to you.
Yeah. Again, it's not just Daniel Penny. This is the same as the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. It's the same as any trial of this nature. Daniel Penny is not only on trial. It's our right to self-defense
is on trial right now, and he's only being. And the only difference is he's only being prosecuted because he's white. Because as we just saw, there was a black man who did the exact same thing except stabbed a dude.
Yeah,
and he's not going to jail. Nothing.
Stabbing is an offensive move. A chokehold is something that you do as a last resort when you don't have a weapon.
Yep. 100%.
I mean, like that. What do? It's like, it's not an instant kill. Chokeholds. How long did it take for George Floyd to die whenever that cop was kneeling on his back? Again, he didn't die from asphyxiation. He died because he was overdosing on fentanyl.
Yep.
The fentanyl is what stopped his heart, not asphyxiation of being laid on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So don't let these grifters and BLM and all these race hustlers come out and say this is about the white man putting the black man down. That is not what this is. If you think that's what this is, then you are living in a delusional fantasy world. You are part of the problem. This is about the right to self-defense. So, do you have anything else?
No, that's really it. I have a video that we're going to play out, which is talking about how they're letting bail bondsmen, anybody who gets a bail bondsman license can go out and arrest illegal immigrants in Missouri, which I think that they should do that for the rest of the state.
The rest of the country?
Yeah, the rest of the country. But yeah, that's how I was going to plan on any other videos. But is there anything else that you wanted to talk about or touch on?
No,
you usually could.
I mean, I hope, again, it's disgusting that they came back and dropped that first count because they were going to declare it a mistrial, and then Daniel Penny would never have been able to be charged ever again for that crime. So that's what they're doing. They're dropping these crimes so they can still charge him in the higher courts. That's what they're doing here. That's disgusting. And so, again, my final thoughts are free Daniel Penny. He did nothing wrong. We all have a right to self-defense. And if Daniel Penny loses this, we all lose.
Yeah, they will use this and cite this case in future cases where anybody tries to defend themselves against a criminal. You mean to tell me that you were trying to protect your home and your belongings more than you care about someone's life? Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know what they're going to do. He didn't even know if the guy was armed. What if Jordan Neely was armed? He didn't know.
Yeah. Again, if you remember that Canadian case where the police officer saying, hey, homes are getting broken into, just leave your keys by the front door so whenever people break in, they can just grab your car keys and go out and grab your car and get out of there. That's where we're going. And again, it's like what I've told you before. Pretty soon they'll say, hey, this serial rapist is on the loose. He doesn't want to hurt you. He just wants to, have some fun time with your wife. So just hold your wife down. Make her as comfy as possible, but hold her down. Let the criminal take care of his business, and then he'll be on his way. Yeah, that is where we're going. That is basically what they're saying.
He doesn't have a wife. You have wife privilege.
Yeah, you have white privilege. Yeah, wife privilege. Yeah. Isn't that nice that you have wife privilege? He doesn't have anybody who's going to take care of his sexual needs, so it's only fair that you share your wife. I mean, she's not your wife. She's our wife, comrade.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the future. This is where we're going. Like, I mean, I know you guys are like probably watching this going, that's crazy talk. No one would ever talk about that. But I guarantee you that
no one thought 10 years ago that you would be like, hey, leave your keys at the front door and let the criminals take your car. You're good.
Did you ever think that you would hear the police tell you, leave your keys by the front door, so when they kick the door in, they can just turn left or turn right and be like, oh, there's the car keys. Let's go.
Yeah.
By that means it's like, hey, they're going to grab your TV on the way out too. Like I said, they might grab your wife and kids and sell them into slavery.
But it's okay because they don't have a TV. They don't have a wife and kids. It's okay.
Yes, they're as the actual Justice Warrior says, they're just innocent little baby Aladdins.
They're just stealing because they need bread for their family. They're just assaulting your wife because he doesn't have a wife and he's going to go home and feed his kids that he doesn't have.
I mean, you can only pleasure yourself for so long before it gets boring and you want to feel the touch of a woman. It's like. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the future. This is the future if Daniel Penny loses. It was the future if Kyle Rittenhouse lost. But I mean, every time a trial like this happens, our future is on the line. The future of the freedom that we have in this country is on the line. So, sorry we keep reiterating this, but I mean, it's true. This is what it is.
100%.
So with that being said, this is the Twins with Owasso Live. This is the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. Remember, free Daniel Penny, and the right to defense is your right and privilege as an American, but as a child of God too.
Yeah.
You know, it's your job to defend yourself and your family. So free Daniel Penny, and we'll catch you next time. God bless you.
See you later, everybody.
Missouri lawmakers have submitted for a new program, the Missouri Illegal Alien Certified Bounty Hunter Program. And yes, it is exactly how it sounds. This program would train individuals to go after individuals who might be in our country illegally. And when I say might, I mean might, because these people would be going after tips that they had received from citizens from an online porthole, an email, or a phone number that would be set up. And if one of these bounty hunters had a good tip and they found somebody who indeed was in our country illegally, and that person was arrested and detained, the person who submitted the tip would then be getting a $1,000 reward. This kind of program is not going to fix the root cause of any problem that we might have in this state. All it's going to do is give the green light for people to openly harass people of color. There is no way for a regular citizen to know if somebody down the street is in this country legally or illegally. All this is going to do is cause problems and waste a lot of taxpayers' money.